Okay, here's a question. When was the last time you really talked to your neighbor? Talked, not texted. My next guest says the cure for loneliness in today's world could be living right next door. Studio 5 contributor Dr. Matt Townsend is here with 5 truths to remember about your neighbor. And you have really kind of hit my heart with this topic. Yeah, because you're making a great point that in this tech world, in this social media society, our circles are getting so big to the point that they're almost obsolete.
Oh, right. We know so many people.
Right.
We are so popular, but we don't think about the person next to us. And then when we do, we kind of covet what they have, and we think they're better than us. And we think all of these weird thoughts about the people around us, and then sometimes that keeps us from going to them.
It creates more distance.
It creates a lot more distance. So we got to blow up some of the thinking that we're doing. It's not right.
Let's get to these truths.
Yeah.
Truth number 1, your neighbor. Now, this could be hard to hear.
This is weird.
Depending on your neighbor, but you are making the case that your neighbors are almost exactly like you.
Almost exactly
Are you sure?
like you. Yeah. So right now, scientists are debating whether humans are 99.9% alike or 99.1% alike.
Oh, you know, huge discrepancy.
Huge discrepancy. So let's just split the difference and say that we are 99.5% alike.
That's
Everything
crazy.
about humans are almost identical, except, I guess, everything you see. Your hair,
our
your
interpretation.
car, your house size.
But you're saying emotional makeup, mental makeup.
Chemistry, genetics, carbon, water.
So
we're all the same, but what we fight for is that 0.5%. We make entire hate-filled decisions based on 0.5% of our difference. Not even that, 1/4 of 1/1,000,000 of a percent.
And that's research, that's data, and that right there you say can bring down the walls and bring people together just by embracing that.
Again, I say it 1,000,000 times. You are one disaster away from loving your neighbor to death. That freaky, crazy person that keeps so much food storage they drive you crazy.
And why is it that disasters or trials or struggles are what bring us
because
together?
It tears down that 0.5% that divides us, and then all of a sudden, we just need to save each other's bodies here. We need to save each other's lives, and we'll do whatever we can to make that happen.
Truth number 2, their lives aren't as perfect as they make them look.
Yeah, humans are incredibly good at acting like they're perfect. We all fake it like crazy, and it's herd mentality. Like, think of the gazelles out in the field. When there's 500 gazelles, you don't want to be the sickly-looking one. You don't want to be the one out there hacking in your little paw. You want to, your hoof, I guess, sorry. You want to look healthy. So we're all out there faking it, pretending like we are the most healthy people. Now our legs are twitchy and we've got anxiety. That's right. No, totally. And we have some weird infection. The doctor doesn't know what it is, but we all act healthy. And so we're all doing this all day long. Did you know that 70% of us are on some pharmaceutical drug? Wow. 70% of the United States is on a drug. 50% are on 2 drugs. But we all act like,
we're good.
Who takes drugs?
We don't need it.
That's right. Did you know that the average debt in the United States is about $140,000 per household?
Wow.
140 grand. Now, if you have some really crazy neighbors, they might be like 500 grand in debt. But you don't notice the debt. You just notice that. Do you know that only half of us like our jobs? 50% of our population likes what they do every day.
Unified truth.
Totally. And so, but we all sit there and think, oh, he's loving it.
Yeah.
Little do you know, he can't sleep at night without 4 drugs.
Right, we think he's got that gorgeous boat, but he could be up at night worrying about how to pay for it.
Here's the truth. Most boats, quite honestly, are still really bad financial decisions. And so, and by the way, most hard bodies are fake. Just letting out the truth. I'm trying to shoot straight with you. But we all look at everyone else like, oh, their life is so together. And it's not.
Truth number 3, and this one touched my heart in a real way as well. They're just as lonely as you are.
Every human wants to belong. Every one of us wants to belong. Everybody out there watches their neighbors go to the barbecue at the other neighbor and thinks, gosh, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I get invited to that barbecue? So we're all feeling the same thing, but we all act as if we're not lonely. So what happens when we're lonely is sometimes we try to make excuses, we build it into something else. But every one of us wants to just be included in the circle. And we can do that by just making a little bit bigger circle. Invite more people in instead of finding reasons to keep people out. Just make the party a little bigger. Invite them in. We don't need any more non-shows.
You say there's a lesson in this, and it came from a man named Grandpa Bill.
Grandpa Bill, one of my favorite men on earth, and it kind of goes with a lot of what we were saying. When he was passing away, one of his biggest concerns was this. Matt, he said to me, I'm not sure I'm going to be remembered. I'm not sure anyone's going to remember me. How am I going to be remembered? And I'm like, oh, Bill, we're going to remember you. So every single time we go by his graves, the cemetery where he's resting, we all as a family say, hi, Gigi and GP. We all remember Grandpa Bill, and he's the most amazing human on earth, but people want to be remembered. We want to be known for something.
And we can give them that validation through our associations across the fence. Truth number 4, they're afraid they aren't good enough.
Every one of us wonders if we're cutting it. Are we good enough? Are we making it happen? And part of that is because of this big circle that's happening. As we get more and more technology, we now have 500 ways to find an accountant, even though we have one of them living right next door to us. And we don't go to the one that knows us the best. We go to some other one that we found on Google because he had an offer.
That's a great point. Why do we do that? Why aren't we talking to the guy next door who specializes in
And part of it is because we don't know him. Because we think they're better than us because they have a boat and their life is together, and they're 5 years older than us, so maybe we're just going to associate with our age group. But the reality is we can fix this idea of helping everyone feel a little more able, a little more skilled by using the people we know, by going to the people and the resources that are close to us, by building people up, by referring people to the people you know. Start talking about how great everyone else is around you and using those circles around you to make life happen.
Yeah, you talk about us not knowing our neighbors, or is it also we don't want our neighbors to know us? I mean, it goes two ways,
a lot of it is,
right?
A lot of us are so private. This is an ultimate irony. We're all so private, but we give Facebook all of our information. So Facebook and every other company out there knows everything about you, but the people that are closest to you, you don't tell anything about.
Truth number 5, this one is probably the most powerful of the bunch. Your neighbors are waiting for others to come love them.
Every single person wants to be loved, and we're all waiting for everyone else to come love us. It reminded me of these cute soccer team from Thailand.
Yes.
They're all stuck in a cave. And amazingly, the entire world united to go get those boys out of the cave. And to me, it's so symbolic. We sent the love in, all this love for weeks. We were wondering where they were. And then with all the love, we brought them out. Now, the irony of that whole situation is there were 13 people waiting for the love to come, and there were 1,000 people bringing the love. If each one of us would quit waiting for everyone else to bring the love to us and just go start loving each other, taking care of each other, we'll change the world.
We didn't even know these boys.
We didn't know these boys.
And yet they were in my prayers every night.
Isn't that amazing?
So what about the boy next door? What about the couple down the street?
That's right. And get off your duff and quit waiting for everyone else to love you. The fastest way to feel loved is to love. So start loving the neighbor next to you. Even if they're hard to love. Usually the hardest person that you know to love is the one that needs the most love. They're the ones whose love is so unstable, they've become prickly. So go love them anyway. Oh, but they're hard. They are hard. So love them.
This is so needed in our society today, Matt. Thank you so much.
Brooklyn.
Hey, your class is filling up. It's coming up on August 18th.
Huge.
Real communication, real results.
This is where we teach you to talk. I know it's hard. You got to face each other. You got to solve your problems. August 18th, 9 to 3. Go to my office at Townsend Relationship Center. But if you go to matttownsend.com, you can get on. We give you a little discount code, Studio 5.
Yes.
Enter it in.
Use that.
You and your partner can come and learn how to talk through the tough stuff.
Couples who have been through this course, I love that it's extensive, kind of a day-long commitment. They
Get
come
it
out
done.
just raving.
It's
So
awesome.
nice work.
Thanks, Brooke.